Minister Brugge official statement regarding the suspension of the chef de cabinet. MP Otley calls for maturity. A government divided can never lead a country. E6 Country Package Initiative delivers. First agricultural loan recipients. Following Agriculture Business Academy, Curaçao, named Best Caribbean Island to Visit in 2026 by USA Today, 10 Best Readers. From the island, Sint Maarten, this is SXM Daily News for January 9th, 2026. As Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labour, I would like to inform the general public that yesterday I was informed through an official correspondence from the Prime Minister that he made a decision to suspend access to the government building and government platforms of my chef de cabinet based on a supposed incident that took place yesterday, January 7th, in my office without me being present. I find it quite unfortunate that such decision was made without allowing the competent authority, which is my person, to hear both parties and decide on a way forward. Nonetheless, after having heard all parties involved in this process, I stand in full support of my chef de cabinet, as based on my own research conducted today, the board of the Unified Resilient Sint Maarten Movement, URSM, has taken note of public reports concerning an incident involving access to government facilities by a senior civil servant within the executive branch. URSM emphasizes that this matter falls squarely within the internal operations of the executive branch of government. As such, the board is mindful of the importance of respecting confidentiality, due process, and established administrative protocols. Not every issue that enters the public domain is one that should be litigated in public, the URSM board stated. Internal executive matters must be addressed within the appropriate institutional frameworks without speculation or unnecessary escalation. The board stresses that safeguarding the integrity of government institutions requires discretion, professionalism, and adherence to clear lines of authority. Public confidence is best maintained when internal matters are handled responsibly and without compromising sensitive information. Good governance depends not only on transparency, but also on discipline and respect for internal processes, URSM noted. Premature or incomplete public narratives can undermine trust and distort the realities of complex administrative situations. URSM further cautions against drawing conclusions in the absence of official clarification, recognizing that executive leadership must sometimes take decisions that are administrative in nature and not intended for public debate. The executive branch must be afforded the space to resolve internal matters calmly and lawfully, the board added. This includes protecting the dignity of public servants and ensuring continuity of government operations. While acknowledging Parliament's awareness of the situation, URSM reiterates that accountability mechanisms already exist within the constitutional framework to address concerns should they arise. Our institutions are strongest when each branch of government respects its role and boundaries, the board concluded. URSM encourages restraint, professionalism, and confidence in the constitutional order as this internal matter is addressed. Member of Parliament and leader of the United People's Party, UPP, Honourable Omar Otley, is expressing concern over the obvious disconnection within the current government. First, we saw the obvious issues made public between the Minister of TT and the Minister of Finance during the Soul Beach saga, whereby the Minister of Finance removed herself from the position of Acting Minister of TT. Now the public is witnessing the ministers of the United Resilient Sint Maarten Movement, URSM, one of the largest parties within the current coalition government, going at each other with the Minister of VSA siding with his subject specialist chief of staff. The people of St. Martin expect leadership and maturity from those entrusted with governing this country, MP Otley stated. A government that is divided against itself cannot effectively lead a country forward. What we are witnessing is an internal dispute being played out publicly, undermining public confidence and diverting attention away from the real issues affecting our people. Recent events involving the Prime Minister and the Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labour, VSA, have raised serious questions about internal governance, communication and decision-making within URSM. MP Otley emphasised that while disagreements can arise in any political organisation, they must be addressed responsibly, internally, and in accordance with proper institutional procedures. Of particular concern is the reported tension surrounding oversight and control of an approximately USD 8 million trust fund project for the construction of a new mental health facility, a project of critical national importance. Mental health care is not a political chess piece, Otley stressed. Any perception that personal ambition or internal party struggles are taking precedence over the welfare of vulnerable citizens is deeply troubling. This project must remain focused on transparency, accountability, and delivering essential services to the people who need them most. MP Otley called on the public to pay keen attention to their leaders of government. It is plain to see that the coalition was not built on a similar vision, but built with the specific goal of keeping was members of the previous government out. Today, the country is suffering from a lack of economic stimulation, a crime crisis, and past due budgets that hinder the government from paying our justice workers legally. The people of St. Martin deserve clear leadership and a government that prioritizes solutions over spectacle. Otley concluded, "We continue with more Parliament meetings on the deliberations on issues surrounding the Central Bank of Curaçao and St. Martin by Minister of Finance, Marinka Gums."
Where did these candidates come from? Through you, Madam Chair, if the Honourable MP is asking about where they live, all the persons I considered as potential candidates live on St. Martin. Did the minister, next question, conduct the search alone or with others, and if so, with whom? Did the minister research on her own, or was it a collaborative effort? How exactly did this search take place? Through formal procedures or informal consultation among friends? Madam Chair, through you, we are a small community, and in this context, qualified candidates with the necessary potential are generally known. As previously stated, some individuals who were not interested may have had conflicts of interest or was unwilling to serve. This is also the manner in which the board selects the chair. Ultimately, I chose a candidate who is a lawyer and who has previously served on the Supervisory Board of the Central Bank and therefore possesses the relevant knowledge and experience. However, as previously stated, this matter has been discussed with the SBOD, and for the future, it has been suggested that vacancies be publicly advertised. This will be proposed for inclusion in the updated bank charter to further enhance transparency and ensure that qualified individuals who may not be known to the board or its networks are also given the opportunity to be considered. Next question. Does the minister agree that in the spirit of the Central Bank Charter, there could be no political interference and that the government should maintain a hands-off approach in such appointments, in other words, good governance? Madam Chair, through you, this is an issue that was addressed in detail during my presentation. The question is, what exactly is meant by political interference? The Charter of the Bank is very clear on this point, specifically in Article 18. Article 18 states that neither the bank nor members of the management board nor members of the supervisory board may seek or accept instructions from government or political bodies. Likewise, government are required to refrain from and any attempt to influence how the bank's boards carry out their duties. Madam Chair, I have fully respected and adhered to this principle. At no time have I interfered in the day-to-day operations of the Supervisory Board or the Management Board, nor have I given instructions to any members to act in a particular way. Next question. Can members of Parliament receive all relevant documents, including the advice on the nomination? Madam Chair, I am willing to provide Parliament with relevant documents that help clarify today's debate, and I will submit my presentations for ease of reference. However, under Article 62 of the Constitution and Articles 11 and 12 of the National Ordinance on Open Government, information may be provided only where disclosure does not conflict with protected interest. Information cannot be shared where it would harm the interests of the country or the kingdom, violate personal privacy, contain identifiable policy views, or where the interest in disclosure does not outweigh concerns such as economic or financial interests, privacy, disproportionate disadvantage to parties involved, or relations within the kingdom or with other states. In this case, the nomination and appointment process is still in preparation and must take place jointly with Curaçao. Disclosure at this stage would negatively affect that cooperation. The documents also contain personal data of individuals who do not hold public office, and disclosure would violate their privacy. Having weighed these interests against the request for disclosure, and noting that no nomination or appointment has been made, I am unable to share the requested documents with Parliament at this time. Next question. The former candidate said that he read his own advice and that all political leaders know about this. Now, is the former candidate lying? Through you, Madam Chair, I wish to be very cautious as the Honourable Member of Parliament is referring to statements allegedly made by someone who is not present to confirm whether such statements were in fact made. As such, I cannot confirm the accuracy of those statements. What I can state is that the advice was not shared by the Cabinet of Finance with any external parties. The decision of the Council of Ministers was leaked, and incorrect information was subsequently made public. If any other documents were shared, I am not aware of this. However, neither I nor anyone within my cabinet shared the advice externally.
Minister, I need to ask you to pause there one moment, and not the last answer that you gave, but the one before that on request of MP York. If you can repeat that answer. So not the last one, but the one before, please.
So the question referring to, or the answer referring to the question, the former candidate said that he read his own advice?
Before that. The,
Okay.
okay, you understood? Okay, if you could repeat that one, please.
Sure.
I'm just being extra nice today, so you may repeat it.
No problem. I stated that I would be willing to provide Parliament with relevant documents that help clarify today's debate, and I will submit my presentation for ease of reference. However, under Article 62 of the Constitution and Articles 11 and 12 of the National Ordinance on Open Government, information may be provided only where disclosure does not conflict with protected interests. Information cannot be shared where it would harm the interests of the country or the kingdom, violate personal privacy, contain identifiable policy views, or where the interest in a disclosure does not outweigh concerns such as economic or financial interests, privacy, disproportionate disadvantage to parties involved, or relations within the kingdom or with other states. In this case, the nomination and appointment process is still in preparation and must take place jointly with Curaçao. Disclosure at this stage would negatively affect that cooperation. The documents also contain personal data of individuals who do not hold public office, and disclosure would violate their privacy. Having weighed these interests against the request for disclosure and noting that no nomination or appointment has been made, I am unable to share the requested documents with Parliament at this time.
you SITV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SITV is cardless. Request your My SITV account today and enter the virtual office of SITV. Go to sitv.sx and sign up now.
SITV, yeah, your social health insurances.
More on Parliament for deliberations on issues surrounding the Central Bank of Curaçao and Sint Maarten.
That the government, in its advocacy, make use of available cost of living information and relevant local data, together with the consultation from local banks, informal business associations, and consumer representatives to substantiate and support the proposed adjustments with factual evidence. That the Parliament of Sint Maarten is provided within 2 months with a detailed progress report, including actions taken to initiate the formal request, feedback received from CBCS and associated stakeholders, the anticipated decision process and implementation timeline for revising the deposit cap, that subsequent periodic reviews of the deposit cap be conducted at least annually, ensuring Parliament and the public are duly informed of findings, recommendations presented publicly, and any proposed future adjustments to maintain and ensure transparency, fairness, and continuous alignment with Sint Maarten's evolving economic conditions, and goes over to the order of the day. Copies to the Government of Sint Maarten, the Ministry of Finance, the Central Bank of Curaçao and Sint Maarten. This motion was supported by MP Francisco La Cruz, MP Otley, MP Lewis, MP Kotay, MP Roseburg, MP Wever, MP Westcott Williams, MP Adrell, MP La Vega, MP York, MP Duran, MP Veronica Jansen-Webster, and I don't think I left anyone out. Yeah. So we now go over to the voting on this motion. Motion number 1. Does anyone wish to call for vote on motion? Roll call. Yes, sorry. Roll call. Yes, I see there's a need. And then, to whom can I give the floor for the motivation of their vote? Each member has the opportunity to motivate his or her vote briefly and concisely. I see MP Westcott Williams would like the floor. MP Westcott Williams, you have the floor.
Chairman, my notification is actually a reflection on yesterday's meeting regarding the CBCS and related matters for which the Minister of Finance was here present in Parliament. The responses regarding the central bank's approach and reactions to the matter of Mullet Bay have left me concerned in terms of what I understood from the Minister of Finance yesterday to be a lack of urgency from the side of the CBCS in providing the government of Sint Maarten with direct responses. So, albeit a notification, no request can be made per se to the minister or to whoever. I do want to sound this concern, and hopefully it will be picked up by the minister and or ministers of because from what we understood in this entire matter of Mullet Bay and court cases, you also have a role for the Minister of Romy to respond, and this is my concern, to respond to the minister's queries regarding Mullet Bay, regarding the zoning, regarding a master plan, regarding sale or not, that those queries and concerns, as expressed by the members of government and the minister in particular, that the Central Bank of Curaçao and St. Martin responds to these matters with urgency. I would like to see that happen, and so that then the minister can respond to Parliament with urgency. Again, given the answers that the CBCS has given, I sense a lack of urgency in them responding to government and, by extension, to Parliament. I just wanted to express that concern as I reflected on yesterday's meeting. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You know, yesterday left me a bit confused and also disappointed for the mere fact that this is, I think, the third time now that you have sitting ministers in this current government publicly going at each other, Mr. Chairman. Yesterday, we had a Minister of Finance here that basically stated that within the Council of Ministers, documents were leaked before the meeting was even completed. So therefore, there's a big sign of distrust. Mr. Chairman, now we have what the young people would call an open, clear beef among two ministers from the same party. I'm saying all this to say, Mr. Chairman, because every couple of months, when the pressure is turned up, whether from the Parliament side or within the Council of Ministers, the Prime Minister comes out and say that, you know, people from the opposition or outside forces are trying to bring down the government. Mr. Chairman, the government is trying to bring down the government, and they are clearly shadowboxing with each other. And I'm saying that you are publicly embarrassing the country, by extension, the people of St. Martin, when these things take place. So for me, y'all need to get it together, stop blaming other people, and really sit down and work in the best interest of the people. Because if you ask me, it seems like a lot of personal things and a lot of personal egos are in the mix. And it's definitely in contravention to the oath that we took to serve the people, and it's blocking progress. Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Chairman.
We are looking terrible in the sight of our citizens. It's a shame and disgrace what is being displayed, as my colleague mentioned, in the public's eye. But let's go on to the civil service. It has come to my attention, Mr. Chairman, that the Immigration Department has incompetent leadership at its helm, and at the Admittance Department, that there are gross neglect for the department and bullying and disrespect to the employees. To the Minister of Justice, Mr. Chairman, just know I was greatly victimized by departments I have worked in the Ministry of Justice. I will be sending a letter of my findings to the Honorable Minister of Justice, and I will do every single thing in my power to have those responsible for victimization on their subordinates and those that have the lack of leadership in our departments within the Justice Ministry to be removed permanently. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, a notification first would be that MP Otley is running somewhat late. And number two, I also would like to echo the sentiments of the previous speakers. Mr. Chairman, it is unacceptable what took place yesterday. As a country, we look like a joke again. And I hope that at some point, the leaders of the coalition sit down and either break it up or fix it. Because in the meantime, we all look bad. We all are embarrassed. And the word that was used previously is exactly the word that I would echo: egos. Egos, egos, and egos. There's no country before self with what I saw yesterday. From both sides. From both sides. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The Ministry of Tourism, Economic Affairs, Transport and Telecommunication, in collaboration with Credits Microfinance, St. Martin, and supported through the E6 country package, funded by the Temporary Work Organization. 2. Proudly announced the first 2 recipients of agricultural loans under the Agriculture Business Academy framework. The official check presentation, held at Credit's office in late December 2025, marks a critical milestone in moving from capacity building to concrete economic impact. This moment follows the successful completion of the 12-week Agriculture Business Academy, which commenced on July 3, 2025, and was designed to strengthen St. Martin's agricultural and fishery sectors through structured training, mentorship, and direct access to finance. The Academy, organized by Credit St. Martin and SOFIN, Social Finance Consulting, with policy oversight and strategic direction from the Ministry, was funded through 2 under the E6 country package, Landspaket. Participants, most of whom were already active entrepreneurs within the sector, completed an intensive curriculum focused on agribusiness development, innovation, financial management, and sustainable production practices. This first disbursement of agricultural loans represents the intended outcome of the program. Not training in isolation, but training that leads to viable, finance-ready businesses. Graduates of the Academy became eligible to apply for loans of up to USD 50,000 at a preferential interest rate of 2%, providing a clear and practical pathway from knowledge to execution. Speaking at the ceremony, the Honourable Minister, Mrs. Grisha Heiliger-Martin, underscored the policy-driven nature of the initiative. Willemstad, the Social and Economic Council, SER, of Overijssel, Holland, has extended a message of support to the Social and Economic Council of Curaçao in a letter dated January 6, 2026, citing heightened regional uncertainty linked to recent developments in and around Venezuela. In the letter, Overijssel's council stressed solidarity with its Caribbean counterpart and underscored a simple message: you are not alone. The letter, signed by Frank Oostdam, chair of SSR Overijssel, and Ingrid Unk, its secretary-director, notes that periods of instability can place added demands on institutions tasked with advising and connecting social partners. It wishes SR Curaçao strength, wisdom, and mutual support, and expresses hope that calm returns swiftly so the work of promoting prosperity and a balanced distribution of well-being on the island can continue. Sir Curaçao replied, the Council said it greatly appreciated the attention and support, and emphasized that particularly amid international and regional uncertainty, a measured, factual, and balanced approach is essential to support social calm and public trust in institutions. Acting within its statutory mandate, SER Curaçao reaffirmed its commitment to constructive social dialogue and independent advice focused on stability, social cohesion, and economic resilience. Both councils said they intend to maintain their ties and deepen exchanges on robust policy advice and on how advisory bodies can continue to fulfill their connecting role effectively as circumstances evolve.
Good day, St. Martin. We are Officers Richards and Rogers from the St. Martin Police Force, and today we are thrilled to announce a brand new initiative. We are thrilled to announce the start of a KPSM Youth Wing initiative geared towards the guidance of the troubled youth in our community.
It's the intention through this initiative to try and curb the crime among the youngsters on this island and try to help them from falling into that.
In addition to that, We are kindly asking of you, the people of the community, that if you see a troubled youth in your community, if you see them with something that does not belong to them or that they should not have, please reach out to us and let us try to help the youth before it is too late.
In the coming weeks and months, there will be arrest makes where youngsters will be arrested. Hence this initiative, and try to guide these youngsters from falling victims to this crime.
So before it has to reach that far, before we have to come and knock on your door, we are kindly asking the people of St. Martin to help us with this initiative before it is too late.
Help us help you.
Now for the weather forecast, tonight through Saturday midday. Fair to partly cloudy with isolated showers. Surface winds, today through Saturday midday. Northeast to east-southeast with a light to gentle breeze at 4 to 12 mph. State of the sea, slight waves, swells, 2 to 4 feet outlook through Sunday midday. Fair to partly cloudy with isolated showers. And now your 3-day forecast.
Your social and health insurance is your social and health insurance.
Are you SZV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SZV is cardless. Request your My SZV account today and enter the virtual office of SZV. Go to szv.sx and sign up now.
Your social and health insurance.
Willemstad, Curaçao has been voted the best Caribbean island to visit in 2026 by readers of USA Today 10 Best. The island topped a list of 10 popular Caribbean destinations, ahead of locations such as Anguilla, St. Martin, Barbados, Aruba, and Bonaire. According to the travel platform, Curaçao earned high marks for its colorful colonial city center, diverse beaches, vibrant culinary scene, and the combination of nature and adventure the island offers. The ranking is based on reader votes following nominations by travel experts. USA Today highlighted the range of experiences available on the island, noting that visitors can relax at white sand bays, shop and dine in Willemstad, or opt for activities such as diving, hiking in Christoffel Park, and enjoying sunset cruises along the coast. Community leaders, educators, and activists in Minneapolis demand justice after the fatal shooting of Renee Good by an ICE agent. Speakers call for accountability, stronger sanctuary policies, and local action to protect immigrant and Black communities. Protesters warn that federal inaction leaves communities vulnerable. Hear heartfelt statements, calls for solidarity, and plans for upcoming rallies. DRM News.
When he got killed, shot him in the head, and a friend told me the James Baldwin quote, "If they take me in the morning, they're going to come for you in the night." You didn't think it had anything to do with you when they were killing Black and brown people. You didn't think it had anything to do with you when they were terrorizing Latino and East African students at Minneapolis Roosevelt High School. and then they come out here and kill a white woman, and you see a piece of yourself in it. And you have a fraction of the experience that we as black men have had for a very long time, seeing ourselves in the bodies of Jamar Clark, of Dalal Eid, of George Floyd, of Terrence Franklin.
I, like many of the activists and organizers and advocates behind me, we have found ourselves standing in front of podiums like this time and time and time and time again when local, or in this case federal law enforcement, have decided to use lethal force against us without right. And here we are again. We watched that man literally position himself in front of Renee's vehicle and shoot round after round after round into her. Now, law enforcement are supposed to justify every last single round. He shot her 3 times in the face.
The ICE officer who shot and killed legal observer Renee Good must be held accountable. There is precedent for state authorities arresting and charging federal officers of crimes. Minnesota officials must use their authority to arrest and charge this officer as they would anyone who shot and killed another human being. Given the gross incompetence of this agency, ICE should immediately cease their surge in Minnesota and stop terrorizing our communities.
Good trouble I bring you from 38th in Chicago. This started 6 years ago. Police taking a man's life, George Floyd. Gianna was 6 years old when they took George Floyd. Renee Good, her son is 6 years old, and they took her from her son. Winston Smith, the federal killed him. Shav killed Ricky Cobbs with no justice at all. Now we have Renee killed FBI, federal government. Minneapolis police need to come and stand with the community. They have no power. So now it's time for them to stand up with us to show us that they can stand with us and support us as the community.
This is our SXM Daily Newscast. Thank you for joining us.